So I was messing around with Grok the other day and I asked it straight up what it thought about XRP, and the answer actually stopped me. It actually mapped a 28-day path from $1.13 to $1.80 and called the recent sell-off a macro flush rather than a structural breakdown, and then started connecting dots to Elon's own payment platform in a way I hadn't seen anyone put together. So I want to walk you through exactly what it said, what the chart actually looks like right now, and where the line is between real signal and pure speculation. So the most likely scenario Grok laid out for me is the price will go to $1.55 to $1.75 by early July, roughly 28 days out from now. If Bitcoin stabilizes and leveraged short sellers get forced into buybacks, there's a squeeze scenario there that pushes that price up to $1.80. So about a 40 to 60% move from where XRP is sitting right now. So at the end of the year, Grok has a realistic bull target between $3 and $5 with high conviction scenarios up to $7 to $8. Now, those numbers sound wild until you look at the framing. Grok isn't calling this a recovery from a broken asset. It's calling the drop from $3.70 last July down to $1.13 today a macro flush, not a collapse in actual utility. And here's the part that made me pay closer attention. Because Grok runs inside X, it's actually pulling real-time sentiment data and volume signals that most retail traders never see. That's a different information base than your average chart analyst working off public feeds. Now, before you get too excited, look at the actual chart for a second. XRP is at $1.14 and recently touched $1.09. The lowest it's been since before November 2024, the breakout that happened then. And from that $3.70 peak last July, it's basically been a staircase down through every support level that mattered. So that $1.20 floor that was held from February 2026 until it didn't, breaking intraday recently. So those daily readings are deep in oversold territory, which tells you the selling got emotional and fast rather than systematic. That's actually meaningful because emotional selling creates the kind of dislocation that reversals setups are run on. So to believe any of these Grok's targets, what you need to see is the $1.20 reclaimed on a daily close first. After that, what happened was that $1.40 held as support for months, and $1.60 is where price consolidated through March and April. So clearing that $1.60 is the real confirmation that the squeeze thesis has legs. Now here's where it got genuinely interesting for me, because Grok didn't just look at the chart, it actually tied the call to four things happening at the same time. So Bitcoin, finding a floor tends to lift the whole market, and XRP historically runs harder than most assets when that happens. Also, the Clarity Act is moving through the Senate Banking Committee, which would give institutions the regulatory green light they've been waiting on. Also, Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin is gaining traction for cross-border payments and directly driving XRP ledger volume. And then there's also X-Money. Elon's payment platform is in beta, licensed in 40 US states, partnered with Visa Direct, and backed by Cross River Bank, a Ripple integrated institution that's been handling real-time US-Europe cross-border payments since 2014. Now, XRP settles in 3 to 5 seconds for near zero cost. If Musk is building an everything app and with global payments, that profile makes XRP a natural bridge asset. But I want to be straight with you here. The last part is a logical leap, not a confirmed plan. Nobody from Musk's team, X or Ripple, has officially said XRP is going into X-Money. It's just something I'm speculating and hoping for. So here's what I'd actually tell a friend sorting through this. The SEC case is settled. RLUSD is live. Spot XRP ETFs are pulling in inflows. X-Money is launching. Those aren't rumors. You can verify all of them. What you can verify is whether XRP goes into X-Money. And Grok has no proven track record for calling crypto price moves with any accuracy. But the bear case is straightforward too. Bitcoin breaks below $60,000. XRP retests to $1 or lower. Regulatory delays push the institutional timeline out by months. those aren't small risks. But the way I'm reading it, watch $1.20 on the daily close, then $1.60. If both flip, the squeeze thesis becomes mechanical rather than theoretical, and Grok's $1.80 calls stop sounding like AI noise. So the next 28 days come down to two things: whether Bitcoin finds its floor and whether anything leaks out of X money development that ties back to Ripple's infrastructure. If both things happen, this stops being an AI prediction and starts being a setup you can trade. And yeah, drop your XRP target in the comments, smash the bell, and the second something breaks, I'll be back with the update.